So can I start? Can I
Uh,
start with the or
yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. Um, I would like myself Vinod Devkar, and I would like to introduce Walliji, who is one of our parents on the special need children's parents group, and she will take over and explain about today's topic, which is about children, autistic children's the challenges that parents and the children face about the autistic children's employment and how to prepare the children and how the parents can prepare well in advance for the upcoming employment. So, and over to you, Waliji.
thank you, Vinod. Um, Hi all. We are all have especially in children and our children in the spectrum. We all know that. Basically, the skills, whatever the children gain over the years, especially during the secondary years, that should be a transferable skill so that our children can get some kind of employment, whichever they like. Uh, in my experience, I gave more importance to academic. Yeah, he did. My son did get some good marks and things like that. However, did it help him at the employment? No, it didn't. Basically, they need more communication skill. They need the understanding of the instructions. That's the main part. Understanding and the communication is the main part. But because we are, basically we are from Indian community and we would like to have some form of certificate and the mark is more important. That's the way we grew up. So we give importance to that mark and everything. But to be honest, given my daughter or my son, first they check the mark is important, the grade is important to in certain degree and things. But 50% of the places they don't look at our degree or the certificate and all those things, but they do look at how we communicate, how is our critical thinking, those kind of things. So when our kids have the transferable skill and they have much more scope to find the employment. But do we concentrate on that? That's the first question. So this meeting is making that awareness to the parents. The academic is important, we can give to a certain extent, but at the same time we have to give important to the transferable skills, like whichever the children like it could be they like some cleaning means, so we have to give importance then because he can find a job in that. If a person like computers means, then we have to find a way to improve his Excel skills, word processor skill. In Excel skill we have to make sure whether he can analyze those sort of the things. So it is very important to understand. I'm not saying it is a strength what they like and what they can learn very easily, what they can understand very easily. That's one part of the thing. Without that, we can't move into the employment at all. The next part is Gitzi. She's in our group, and she, many of you know, she posted that Stephen Timms, uh, her his video, and apparently he told like a 1 billion per month is going to spend for the people. I don't know whether it is special need or the people who who are unemployed due to some kind of health reason. I assume that mostly by physical, not only physical but mental health. But after the COVID, most of the people affected their mental their mental health is affected, so they lost their job, it seems. So most people now on the benefit system. So to reduce that, government is introducing some kind of scheme. I did learn about that, I think in 2023 budget. Apparently, 2 billion pounds are allocated for that over the 5 years. Uh, that what I gathered. But Giji is saying nearly 1 billion per month is going to spend, and in that they are asking which are the way we can spend, and how we can use that in a proper way to our children. So what she is saying is she can gather information from us, and she can give that to that minister, see whether it can produce some kind of fruitful thing to our children. So what we need, that's what she wants to know. How can, for example, I told we need some kind of development center where they can children go there and develop their skills. uh, and I want something from the school onwards they have to teach, like it could be baking, it could be computers, it could be whatever it is, but it has to start from secondary school. Like that, each one of us must have some kind of ideas. If we could share that, so that Gitzik can take that to that minister, and hopefully, it can go to the next level. Some kind of uh, you know good thing could be implemented. That's what I gather.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I've just posted a brief message of Sir Team Stephen Teams, minister. He's a minister for Social Security and Disability, and actively involved in addressing the challenges faced by autistic individuals and their families in the UK. So, key budget allocations for autism and disability support in 2024 autumn budget. He has described like 1 billion pounds for um, special need children and disability has been allocated. This funding aims to improve services for children and young people with SEN, including those with autism. So, and 2.2 billion has been allocated for new school places and 2 billion for health services. So, this call is mainly for us to focus on what we can, feedback to the system and say these are our children's needs and how they can be catered. So that entire comprehensive survey from parents should go back to the ministry in a properly um, comprehensive way so that they can plan accordingly, and that will be our feedback to the system rather than they allocating or making some decisions. So that's the whole purpose of this call. And today's call is like a preliminary understanding and how many parents on our group are willing to contribute towards this information or this survey. Um, yeah,
So basically, the parents got a chance now, like unofficially, you can share your views. What should be there in the system, so that it can help your child? What you are struggling, what do you want to from the government?
yeah, I think I can suggest if each one of us can, contribute their views because we are like 8, 9 parents and we have time to, take the inputs. Does anyone wants to go ahead and start? Or maybe only you can give a structure and give your inputs and maybe the others can follow.
So
Yeah.
I think I'll start just whatever Vali says, like whatever if they say like this Excel skills or whatever, if that can be taught in the college itself, and what Valiji says is right. There's absolutely no point in scoring a bit of a C plus or D plus or whatever, at this unless the child is very high functioning, they're going to do a degree in that particular thing, then it matters. Otherwise, for somebody who is not performing very well, there's no difference between like a grade 4 or a grade 5 in the GCSE. Let's not focus on that. But like this transferable skills, like employable skills, what she's saying, like, it could be about using the Excel, whatever, similar thing in all the fields. If that can be taught in the college itself, where they are studying, college or the school, where they are special needs school, where they are studying, if more focus is for that, like employable skills, and we could ask the minister to look into that, like so that like that can be taught. One children might even pick up easily. If they're going to pick up, they'll pick up easily, and that might be helpful rather than fighting with this English and Max and just to extra sort of a score or whatever. So that will be that's something which we may mention it to the minister. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Susan. So now you are telling. So can I just ask you to brief for particular for your child, what what do you want? How he can? What kind of skill? Uh, if he has, if they give at school, he can improve for next 2 years. He can
No, no,
improve. He
no,
can.
no. I think the generally, I mean, we are all lucky at the school, special school or special college. Everything is working very well. You know, they are very, very sensitive, and they are doing a good job, very good job, and they are sort of identifying whatever is needs, and they're doing everything. But it's not for me to, like, it's, as I said, like, I don't know his skills in the sense, like, what are the employable opportunities available, and what is it he can do until he's tested there, like in a warehouse or whatever the job is. Yeah. So what I might ask the teachers is, like, in this aspect, what do you think Arjun will do good in this particular, employable skills? And then I can sort of ask them. But as I said, like, I may have thousands of wishes as a parent. I may want him to do this and that. So I cannot extrapolate my sort of thoughts and ambitions onto him, because he may not be ready to do, he may never do as well. So the issue is, it's about what the teachers feel like. If they feel like he might do better in this, so then, I could ask them to just, can you help a bit more, or can you ask, refer him to that sort of an like employment situation where you might improve that skill. So I'm sorry, I mean, it may sound difficult, but I don't know his skills, in the sense I know his skills, whatever he can do at home, but I don't know what the employment, because and the employment world is also changing very fast, you see, like, with the artificial intelligence and so many things coming. So it's changing very fast. So what is it he can do? But the other thing is, I also feel like, if there is a bit of, like, the corporate social responsibility back home in India, in the sense, like, they can also, if the employers reserve some jobs for these sort of, for our children, like, where they literally reserve, like a reservation in India, they literally reserve it in a way to, for the social inclusion. They, even if they say, like, I'm not going to pay you that much, I'm going to pay you a bit less, maybe rest of the money you get from your benefits or whatever. The idea is, if they get the satisfaction they're being employed, and we get the satisfaction as well, if they go to an employment place, and like, literally like a semi voluntary, they're paid something, but it's not fully voluntary, but it's not fully
I think
employable as well. So
Yeah.
that may be
Thank,
useful for us.
I
okay.
think
Thank you.
we need to understand. I know, like Srinivas ji, basically we haven't gone through that stage. Like, yeah, we don't know
That's
what's the
the
other side. So what we would love to know is from the parents who have gone to the other side, like who are facing the
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I'm
challenges.
not a parent who's
That's
gone to
Uh,
the other
yeah.
side, but
Yeah.
but my
That
my my only thing is, if there is in all the employment, if there is, because I mean, I'm a psychiatrist myself. Many times I support my patients in employment. You see, but they are all different, and it's not like they're on learning disabled or whatever. But some of them have got autism and everything. The issue is, like, if it's a big employer, then they should be able to afford that sort of, okay, I'll reserve 0.1% or 0.3% of my jobs for these sort of people, like my son coming and doing something. I'm not expecting big, I'm also expecting that, like, it is going to help his social inclusion. That is my main thing. Yeah. So
can
that the
I
pressure is
can
not
I tell
there. Yeah.
Sudarshan, can I tell one thing here on the basis of my experience? Yeah. So when I enrolled my son Shivanish to the job center, so do you think like a job center doesn't give any job? What they say is these are the jobs. Those jobs we can see in Indeed and other any other platform. So basically, when we go and find job, so we are on our own. So we need to know because our children cannot, they may not know because that's where we are their carer and their supporter and things like that. So if you are expecting the teacher or the school tell the skills, they truly speaking, at the moment the school teacher and other people, if it is any computer knowledge, they lack because it's going really fast. They don't have time to learn. So basically, what we have to do is here as a carer, as a parent, as a supporter, we have to take some extra step. and we have to do some research. That's what I am trying to
Okay,
say.
okay, no, no, that's fine. I got it. But I mean, I don't mind. I'm taking a lot of time myself. Let other parents also comment. Yes, I get what you say, Vali. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying, why we are here is that skill, what are the skill we want to, so at least we are here, we are all special in parents. If we are going to tell them, and at least so some, we can say only few places. For example, in big company, they are going to give some, okay, 10% I am given to a special need. If my son don't have that skill, there is no point, because I have some other company gave the job, they tried for 2 weeks, and my son couldn't do it, and they also said if he comes here he will be suffering. So basically, we need to know where our children can, thrive, and we need to know some kind of skill. So if we tell that school, this is what I want to develop. So there are few areas only, some children like a Sudarshan says high functioning kids, they are totally different. The average students are below average. So we need to give some kind of general areas. So that's where our children needs to learn the skill, and they have to apply. So that's what I put. Those are like a cafe, and the warehousing. So any other in this warehousing, again you have to learn 12 to 15 weeks. There will be a safety measures, and our children has to learn. They are not going to apply, okay, this is a warehousing, or you can come and job it, this is just parcel, or this is going to scan. No, they will make sure whether you can know that some basic things. That's why we our children need English, and they need bit of arithmetic, maths. So if they have that skill, and what we have to do is we have to expect, okay, my child is going to go in another 4 years. He's going to go in the warehousing, means we have to prepare. Okay, these and these are they will ask, because we can't make them to learn. For a normal kid, the interview is next week, means he can sit and learn, and what I have to do, how I can answer, how I can impress. But our kids needs time to learn that those kind of, sort of the things, 2 to 3 years. Then they will do like a casually, without any, because we when we are saying during the interview, you go and tell these things. What happened with my son means, whatever I say, he echoed everything. So the problem is, he sometimes he doesn't understand the question, he just echoed the answer. Because of that, he didn't get the many jobs. So for that, we need time, our kids need time, and we have to teach them this, and this is the circumstances you might be working. There are this area, there are this area, this area. In this, whatever you like, you can choose. And when we give this 2 to 3 areas, when we are giving that skills, and we can able to see how he is getting well. So there the teacher can help. Okay, compared to these three skills, your child is better in these skills. So that's what I'm thinking, but just it's my thinking. Other parents also can share their views, and we can take it from there.
Anyone? I mean, for me, my son is 14 and he has got profound multiple health needs, including autism. So I mean, he can't communicate. So I don't even, he's blind and many other things. So I don't even see employment in my dreams even. So that's that's a long, long way. Uh, if he could achieve that would be amazing. But so I'll pass this one. But yeah, as a just generic parent, I would generally I would say the parents want to pass on as much as we can, like make the children, prepared for future because we have a short period, and in during that period we want to ensure the child learns the right skills and gets trained properly and learn what is the future for them. So whatever courses or whatever facilities are available within the council or counties, we should learn in advance, prep it ourselves first, and then get our children ready for that. And eventually, like Valiji said, small steps at a time, and then they might, join and be more independent and be more confident. So that's what I hope, and I love to see other such lovely children getting into employment. So that's from me.
Anyone else would like to share where where your child is now and what would like him or her to do? Please come forward. It's just a casual meeting with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hello.
Sandeep ji. Sandeep ji, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Somebody.
please.
Not feeling well, so I have some like breathing issues and the cough. So I'll try to speak. My son is like just turned to 16. So and we came here last June, and then the family came here on October. So we are yet to get an admission. So he was going to special school in Bangalore. Uh, uh, After coming here, like I shared that when the struggles in our group itself. So since we don't have school admission and everything, so it's going worse. But sometimes it is like manageable as well. So hopefully we'll get the admission sorted out in the next academic. But from the council, they are saying like there is an option for like colleges. They will teach on the life skill as you said, some kind of uh, uh, training that they can do. It can be cooking, as you said, it can be packing. So it will help them to get a job in the future. So make them earn something. And they have shared a couple of community names as well. So and the colleges. So they will give those kind of trainings if you are interested. For us, for me, it's like, and he's also saying like he want to focus on academic. He want to learn more but yeah, that might be his ambition. But again, without our support, it's we don't know whether it will happen or not. But again, like I would like to see him happiness, like happy, and if he can do any kind of job, and it doesn't matter like what kind of job, but and if he's happy, then that is fine for me.
So he wants to do very well in academic means. Do you see that potential?
Yeah, he has that. But not
Okay.
in all the subjects, but it went down because last 1 year everything got stopped, right? So that's the reason it went down, and
Yeah.
we
But
couldn't find any kind of special skills or like extraordinary about him. Only thing is like if we are sitting because he is non-speaking autistic child, and he can't even he's communicating by typing. So even for typing also he needs a touch on his hand. He don't have that like self-confidence to do the typing on his own. He hardly like sometimes 2 letter or 3 letter words that he types, otherwise he needs a touch. So what will happen is like sometimes he used to read our minds. So if the online session also, if the teacher asks any questions, so definitely we will also be reading, right? We are sitting with him and attending the class. If we know the answer, he will read from our mind and he will type that answer. So that is again, it can be a positive thing, but it's a concern to us as well, because if he is not thinking of his own, then it will create a problem for him. And if our mind is blank, then he will like wait for us to think. Sometimes if he's also don't know the answer, if he knows the answer, he will type it. But if he's also don't know what is the answer, then yeah, it's completely blank.
okay. So does he do well in the maths?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you introduce him in the computer field, like Excel or word processing
Yeah,
or?
he was. I told you, like he was going to special school in Bangalore. So we have that NAOA syllabus in India, right? So he was. They were preparing for him for appearing for the 10th standard exam. It may take couple of years, 2 years or 3 years, but yeah, all these subjects were there in that. They selected 5 or 6 kids and they started. So yeah, just 1 year we attended for that plan, and then we moved.
Mm.
So that has like a Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and yeah, a couple of other software as basic things. It might be used for the data entry operations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I just suggest, please try him with any charitable shop. Take
Mhm.
him 1 day or 2 days, or if the charitable shop offer every day, can also
Mm.
see whether what he can do, how he is performing, whether
Mm.
so that could be really helpful for you and for him also. So what he
Mhm.
can do, what he can't do in that situation. So
Mhm.
that is a first thing. So in a charitable shop, he can go and try, because there are lots of kind of charitable shop. They can arrange books because people are donating lots of things. And they can separate things, good, bad, and all those kind of things. So,
Mm.
so simple things, but without our support in a new situation, what he can do, what he can't do.
The thing is, like, when he was in at school, and when he was attending therapy sessions in, like, individual therapy sessions at India, so he was doing everything independently. So when like when we are with him, so he wants us for each and everything we need. He needs our support.
Yeah,
We are
that's
not there,
why.
then yeah, he used to do everything
Yeah, that's why.
independently.
So
Yeah.
make sure that he can do in a different situation.
Yeah.
And what I learned from my son is when they go out, they learn a lot.
Mm.
And we can see that, and from at least from my son, I saw that after a few weeks. So the new words, vocabulary, and all those things. And the way they learn, whatever we teach, we always teach in a particular way and things like that, whatever we know. And when they go out, they learn in a different way. The
Yeah.
progress could be very slow or something like that, but that is happening. So those the first to know to if you are going to ask whether a job center or any other place, what they are asking, what your son or daughter can do.
Mm.
So that time we all go blank.
Yeah. True.
So we need to know, so for that to know, they have to try different kind of charitable shop.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
That's the main thing. So when they do that, and again, we can also, whether they can independently work in our kitchen, whether they can cut, whether they can make a simple omelette or toast, and from that go to next level, whether they can follow instructions. So those are the things, again, those are all the skills they are learning,
Yeah.
and they can apply those things. So only if we can tell, because we are going to be the carer, and when we go to job center or any one-to-one support they are giving for finding employment, most of the time they are not going to talk, or even if they talk, they can tell only because their understanding is limited. If they are doing very well, then we don't need this one-to-one support or our support. So we are going to be the supporter, and we should know, okay, this is the area you can try, because they also don't have any clueless. What they say, if you say something, we can look into that area.
Yeah.
The first question is they are asking what are his or her strength and where they can survive.
Yeah. Understood.
So that's the thing. If we have some kind of development center or teaching center, we can send those kind of centers, see what they can do. We are all saying we can teach Excel and things like that. We can teach Excel to type and things like that. Still, it is difficult as a parent how much time we have, and some kind of data analysis or whatever it is, even simple analysis. We can't teach everything. But
Yeah.
if there is a system, if there is a center there, and they can teach them, or they can tell us whether he can do or he can't do. So we need some kind of system set up where they can assess our children,
Yeah.
what they can do, what they can't do. So
Okay.
Yeah.
any
Thank
other
you.
parents?
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Anyone else want to just share their ideas about the future of the child with autism?
Hello, I'm Priya. Um, just wanted to mention, I completely agree with Valiji about the common centers wherein the children have to, or rather the children would be able to be assessed to the knowledge and capabilities, what they are capable of. To just to add on to that, the city councils or the town councils, some of the councils do that. Because my son goes to a Stoke Council, and they have a small wing which caters to special needs, and they do teach Excel and data entry and those sort of things. But the problem that we have is mainly that it's very, very patchy. It is not consistent. One week he goes, the next week that person has got an hospital appointment, the worker. The next week it is bank holiday, the week after the. So there is a sort of a very big gap, basically because the system is sort of embedded into the normal system. I feel that is my thought. That if you say for example, if you go to Job Center Plus as well, Job Center or Job Security, wherever, you are sort of into the mainstream, competing along with the normal people. For jobs and for placements and those sort of things. So there should be a sort of a separate line, like we have specialist schools, specialist colleges. After they become 22 or 23, there should be a specialist line in which these children can sort of establish themselves with whatever limited skills they have. And job centers and all that should have a separate, completely separate wing for special needs. That would be my take on it. And these sort of whatever little bit of resources they have in the council and all that to cater, that should be expanded, I would feel. Say for example, this particular bit, that wing is called as Jet Ability in Stoke Council. They call it Jet Ability and they cater only to special needs. And that particular, as I said, he goes 1 week, then the next 4 weeks he doesn't go, then after that, so there is no consistency and he forgets what he has been doing for a long period of time because there has been a gap. If there is more staffing to that, more funding which is provided to that particular system, the child will have some continuity and consistency. So that would be my input basically. And the other challenge that we have faced is leave alone the employability. We are just trying for some work experience in a cafeteria or in a computer IT resource center. Even that we have not been able to sort of finalize as such, because the problem with these sort of abilities is that, for example, my son was in a hospitality and catering course, and he was doing a work placement. For 3 years, the work placement just involved cleaning of the tables, picking up whatever, and the plates and this and that. So when we had a meeting, we had asked whether he will be able to progress from there to do something in the kitchen or, just sort of an climbing up the ladder to do something else. And they said he will not be allowed in the kitchen because it's not safe for their food safety laws. He has passed the food hygiene and all that, but still they are allowed only in these sort of areas wherein only whereas only the high skilled children, they do the bits, or rather the high skilled staff, they do the bits like baking, catering, and those are sort of the real things rather. So that has been my problem and challenge altogether.
Thank you, Priya. So this catering, did he try in any other cafe to go and find a job and or volunteering?
Yeah, I've been sort of looking. It's only volunteering only. It's not a paid job, but it's only work experience that I'm trying for. Even that, the problem is that we are trying through his specialist college and we're trying privately as well. The main issue is that he wants to do a little bit of baking or at least some sort of, helping the chef out, like a sous chef or something like that. We are not able to find anything to sort of cater to that need. The only thing that the college is offering is wiping the table and picking up the plates, loading and unloading dishwashers and all that, which he's been doing for the past 3 years. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah, Priya,
difficult.
can I just suggest here, because we are coming, all of us coming from Indian background, we all have temples. And temples, even Sudarshan always ask me, could you please come and help me during Ekadasi and to cook. So this is the best opportunity. They can go and learn whether they can do what they can do, because we are all support. We can tell them, my son is this and this difficulties. You can see what he can do, what he can't do. And so it is not a big crowd. It is a small setup. And you can send him, you can send your son to that temple and see what he can do, what he can't do. This is the only way we can find our child, to what extent they can survive. And different setup, this is a different setup they can try. Council or government can't give anyway, because there are certain rules. In case anything happen, they might say, so why did you allow him to cook and things like that. So you have to go around that system. And once you can ask the temple person whether if he really does very well, then you can ask, give me some kind of certificate or volunteering certificate, and you can produce for this much people he did this one. So that's a way you can do. Again, baking for a like any occasion or something like that. You can ask the council whether we can, during some kind of the council, what you call farewell or something like that, you can make him to cook cupcake and do some raffle or selling those kind of things, and see how he does. So that's the only way. And if he does all those things, you can add that in the CV, and so that might help him to go into the next ladder. This is what I learned from my experience. Because here, if we are asking something, they say, what can we do? All we can do is only to up to this level, because their hands are tied up too. They
Yeah.
have. So, and again, you mentioned that there is Excel skill. That's really wonderful. I didn't know council is offering that kind of thing. So, could you please explain that? So, what kind of that one, so that somebody can benefit from that, approach council, and if that council has some this kind of skills and things. So, could you please tell what exactly they are doing? Is it in the real life setup? They are your son working there?
No, it's not work actually. It's a sort of a small certificate course towards which he's working.
Okay.
And basically, this is it's in the council building only, and it's a separate wing which is it's called as Jetability.
Okay.
So basically, what he did was this was recommended by his college, and we met that manager. We had about 3-4 meetings before he started, and then he used to go there every Fridays for a socialization group. That was a socialization group basically, wherein he used to interact with other boys and girls of his own age or different ages. And then after that, they sort of extrapolated or built on to that, saying that he could do something. And they offered me 2 or 3 courses which he could go on to. But even if before I could give my input, they said that only this course is available. So he's put on this particular Excel bit. And he does that. As I said, it's not very continuous. It's very patchy, but he does do that once in a while, going there. And that's what I said, that if that is developed with more staffing, more funding and all that, people will benefit from that. I'm sure all the councils will have that sort of a wing.
Yeah, they have some kind of course that is different, but we would like to have some kind of a real life situation where our kids can go and work. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I'd explored that as well, real life situation and all that. Basically, this was through another parent who was a lead in the school. She was one of the committee members of the parents group, and she had recommended someone. But at the end of the day, it all did not come down to anything, because he could not really go and do any real work. We were just talking over it, but he did not have the opportunity to go and do anything in real life in computers. And that is still, I'm still sort of struggling with that, trying to find various ways of doing it. And I'm sure that if that could be an agenda on this particular whatever funding they've got, this billion funding they've got, if that could be an agenda, that there should be some sort of real life real-time experience offered to these children, then that would be really sort of showing them a path wherein they have some experience also in the back
Okay.
to work on.
Yeah. So
Okay,
again,
just
yeah.
in the interest of time, we have got just 15 minutes left, so you can summarize this, Waliji, and then we have three more parents if they want to put some more
Right.
inputs. Yeah.
So basically, I think what Priyaji said, some kind of more funding to give, improve the Excel, and when they give job work experience, not just only the cleaning and things, instead of bit more of, the improve the skill of baking, cooking, those sort of things. So there they have to assess, and they have to give us kind of, okay, your son or daughter is, safe to work in a to the next level cooking in that. So that kind of some kind of assessment should be there. So that's what we need, I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Ramaji, please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Sorry, I joined a bit late. It's just gone
No
my
worries. No worries.
brain. My son is 21 year old. He is very limited communication skills, but he is a huge talent in maths and English, science, quite a high level. Uh, mm, uh, Grade he will understand and he will type the answers on his own. I don't know, we couldn't work out anything because of his non communication skills. Is there any possibilities for such a children to have exposure to work experience or volunteering or anything? I'm trying for a long time, whom to approach, no idea, madam.
Are you with Sandeep ji? Sorry. Um, because he has got son with similar needs.
Okay, I am not aware. I will be definitely.
So
Okay, if Sandeep ji is on our call, and I think we heard the similar, very similar pattern
Mhm.
about a non-verbal child, but he understands and has a very good grades and an understanding about maths and other subjects, and he communicates by typing.
Yes,
So, so very similar. And Sandeep ji is on our call here, so
I
hence
would
I thought,
love to touch with sir if it is happy for him
yeah,
to.
yeah, please
Yeah,
communicate and
yeah.
learn more and explore more. So,
Yes.
Valiji, please guide them.
yeah, Ramaji. So have you ever? So first, you have to tell us whether your child is can do computers really very well. He can
Very
understand.
well, ma'am. Yes, yes. He can do his type by typing with a single hand, single finger. He will type. It is a bit slower, but he will do very high level maths. He will make everyone surprised. Year 7 maths in IXL, year 7 English, science. He will do chemistry, GCSE's level. When we explain, he will do the answers. It's very strange. No one until see directly will really appreciate and even think of it is a truth, but it is, madam. And I don't know
That's
how to
really,
realize.
yeah, yeah. That's really wonderful. Now, what is the next step is we all have certain rights.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when we go to employment, so when we have these disability things, so some of the jobs when you apply, they will have that disability sign and things like that. So if your son can't answer verbally, then they have to accept whatever they type. They can ask the question, your son can answer through the text.
Mm.
So that is possible, but you have to explain that before. And what I would suggest is, yeah, go to NHS is the best place. So
Mm.
NHS got like a what is that, clinical coding, and those you have to find a job where your son can thrive, like where he doesn't need to speak. So
Mm.
if you find that kind of thing, sometimes data analysis, he doesn't need to talk, but he can provide reports and those sort of things.
Mm.
So where you are based, may I know?
Birmingham, madam.
Birmingham. So you definitely might get lots of things. So apply. So look through the Indeed and other NHS website and other job websites, and find a job and see the description of the job and see whether your son can do. Then apply for the job and ask him, look, this is the way he is, and he may not talk, but he can provide, he can do the job. So if you prove that, and that legally they can't discriminate because your son can't talk. That's a discrimination. So you don't mention that in your CV that your son can't talk. Put all his what he can do. Then when he comes to interview level, that time they'll ask you, does he need any extra support or anything like that. That time you tell. That time they can't discriminate. So that I would suggest you can try. All you have to do is, as a parent, you have to do bit of research on what he can do, what are the job description, whether his skills, whether his talent match those job description, and apply for that, and make your CV. Work with some professional, make a CV really good, and because if the CV is good, they have to accept. Then take from there.
Before we go on to that level, is there any training or anything they will get
If you want training, training, I don't think I don't know in Birmingham, if it is very difficult to tell whether we have or we don't have. But what I would suggest is, see whether lots of charitable shop and work experience, whether he can go and work and things like that. It is a trial and error. You have to try. You have to go to different. First, let him go to charitable shop and see whether he can do background work, like work in the computers, do some kind of data, some things like that. Definitely, if you try I will try and find some website and see whether he can do, and if possible, whether he can learn designing website and things like that. Do you think he can learn?
I didn't explore, madam. Maybe he surprises. I don't know, but yeah, I
That's
because I
that's
am
not,
poor
yeah.
in that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
you should try you have to know what he can do, what he can't do. So that's why we have to, as a parent, we have to choose certain areas, whether what he can do, what he can't do. It's a trial and error.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
I-
was really exciting to hear about Ramaji's son doing such an um, excellent talent he has got. So need exploring further. Ramaji in
Vinodji,
Birmingham.
this is where we need some kind of assessment center, what they can do. So Sudarshan ji also told, many parents doesn't know what he can do. Some teachers has to say. So if he has some kind of assessment center, what are the
Yeah,
skill? So that may be the first thing we can ask
yeah, I
assessment
think
center, and
yeah, that's a very good shout. And let me make a note. Assessment centers in each county, maybe
yeah, assessment.
centers.
At least one or two. Anyone can go there, and if they can't make each county, at least for Birmingham, the main cities and things like that, people can go there and get this and this they can do.
Okay, yeah, okay, I have noted that. Another thing, Ramaji, we have Balbirji on our group, on our WhatsApp group. She is from Birmingham and she is very active there with the council and a lot of activities. So please connect with her. That will really help you. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you can't find, then I'll certainly connect with you. But she is there. Thank you. Any other parent want to share? Rekha ji, I don't know who is Samsung SM, but if you could rename.
Hi. Thing is
Hello.
that my son is 10 years old. He's nearly 11. So he's still not yet in a stage where we think of jobs still. So we joined because we want to. He doesn't have any, abilities as well. He's just need based communication. So we wanted to understand, to get some ideas from you guys, just to so that we can plan what is the best decision for him. Currently, we don't have any idea like where he'll stand in the future. But yeah, so that's the reason I don't have any suggestions, but just to get thoughts from you all.
Yeah, basically, when they are age 10, 11, so make sure you take him to shops and whether he can buy things on his own, whether he can pay. So develop the day-to-day skills where what he can do. Uh, Not only just only academic skill, take him to whatever he likes to take to park and see whether he can take turns and things like that. So the basic skills, that's where first important. If he can able to do that, then you can find whether he's showing interest in computers or maths or science. So whether he can do simple experiments in the science, so whether he can able to when you are discussing stories, whether he can able to think, and he's asking question, answering questions,
Mm-hmm.
whether
Okay.
he can answer like a open-ended questions, whether he can understand those sort of the questions.
Yeah.
So if the most thing is whether our child can follow instruction and whether they can think to some extent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
So if if you work on that, then other things automatically fall in. So if your child is able to understand stories and he can do well in the comprehension.
Not so much. He's just starting to understand very simple stories. He can answer very basic questions, but he's not yet there. I mean, interaction wise, it's where, I mean, general interaction also is not there. We are trying to work on that. It's just like, what is this? Where is this? Only these kind of questions. When we sit and do, then itself he'll do like an activity. But general based communication, he's lacking totally.
Yeah,
So,
you can use IXL and things like that. See where how much his understanding level, because now IXL doing English, Math, Science, what kind of understanding he has, whether he's like helping you. You can even ask him to help you, whether he understands the simple instructions,
mhm.
whether setting up the table, following your instruction, those sort of little things. Every simple thing,
Yeah.
it does help actually.
Yeah, mostly we concentrate on that itself. First of all, life skills. Like I make him to do few household chores, like to help me in drying the clothes, like that. Simple basic, setting up the table, cleaning up, like simple things. He can cut few vegetables like that. Uh, but yeah, need to think. What was the you said, Vali? Is it like Excel? What you said?
Uh,
IXL or something you said? Sorry, I missed that.
IXL, the website called IXL, there,
Uh,
English, Max, Science.
oh,
So you can see there are, reception year one, year two. So you can see which level he is able to do. You go from year one to year two, how much he is able to do.
okay. Mhm.
So if people can, I mean, our kids can understand that level, IXL level, that they can do simple maths and English,
Mhm.
then it doesn't matter whether they can do very well in the exam or not. As much they are able to understand and they can answer. And we don't have to go and search question and find resources, because it is already there. All you can do is let him do and see how he's doing. After all, also you can go and see how many questions he got right, and you can ask him questions about how much he really understand, or whether just he's like answering. Sometimes fluke also would be there, isn't it? So make sure he does understand that kind of things. I
Okay.
strongly suggest IXL
Yeah,
is a very good platform
Oh,
to
I think.
teach maths and English and science, and you can test their skills actually.
oh,
Yeah,
sure. Okay, I'll check that out.
yeah.
Thank you.
It's nearly 1 hour. So, is there any other parent who wants to give their input? Uh, yeah, if nobody is there, Waliji, then we can.
Yeah. To summarize, what I understand here is, so parents, they don't have much clue what kind of or what sort of jobs available for
Avenues.
their
Yeah.
children can do, and we expect school or teachers say, and the teachers also have very limited knowledge in that. Because the teachers also sometimes they keep moving, different teachers are also coming. So there may be a record, but again, whatever we see in the paper and whatever in the real time, it could be difficult. So the first thing, um, at school or some other organization should educate parents, like what sort of jobs available. So they can divide into two, like a high functioning kids and other spectrum children. So if they divide, and a high functioning kids, like Rama's son, he may not talk, but still he can able to do. So for them they have to give confidence, because he can't talk, that doesn't mean he can't survive or he can't get job or something like that. So what are the rights, how they can approach the employers? So yeah, employer has to follow some legal rules and things like that. They have to give interview and things like that. So that is one side. The other side is the children who are in the different spectrum, different end of the spectrum. So what we have to do is we have to accept, okay, they can do some packing job, or they can do some sort of warehousing or cafe or cleaning, housekeeping, those sort of the job. So first we have to see where they really do very well, they really like it or not. And for that, government system, they should allow, they should educate parents and the kids, uh, do some kind of volunteering job. So for our kids from the age of 14 to from 14, I think they should go to some kind of volunteering. For that, government should give some sort of, we shouldn't struggle to find volunteering.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. So they have to arrange, if the kids wants to do volunteering in different sector, to find their what they can do very well. And wherever they are doing volunteering, they have to give some sort of feedback. That's the first thing. And there should be some kind of assessment. Children is keep growing. So every year they might, that skills might have changed. So there should be some kind of assessment. So last year they did the assessment, this and this skill he can do. So some kind of assessment center for that. And the third thing is, the parents also keep understanding what they can do with their children, what they can't do, so what they can expect from the school can't give everything. So parents has to do to some extent. And they should know what are their rights with the council, what are their rights with other organization. Those sort of the things we should know. So that first, that education, that awareness is the first thing, I in my in my experience, my after I heard all the parents. uh, After that, again, to skill development center, if the assessment center, skill development center, at least one in the major cities or in each county, like Vinodji said, that would be really good. So in the preliminary meeting, that's what I think. uh, what do you think, Jay?
I think, yeah, I mean, first thing, I mean, it's again what we discussed. Three key points I would suggest that parents who are, haven't reached that area, like who children are in year 10 or in that very young, they need to learn through schools or maybe parental groups or council. There should, what is the future? So we know the pathway. I know it's 6, 7 years, they just run quickly, and there is so much to do around that period, transitioning, and so many things to do, prepare. So, but if we know what can be done, and also the child will grow, the ability will grow each year during the EHCP rounds. We churn out which is the ability he has gained, and is there any improvement, and if not, then what program needs to be set for the child, and all that should be aligned, and then actually check with the school what is the skill that the child has gained, and is there any possibility. So each half yearly or yearly we should assess and see where our child is, can go down that route. And also there is a lot to learn for us. and the government has to put in like the centers that we discuss, assessment, job assessment centers based on skill and low, medium, high. It's very difficult for children who have high spectrum to gain job. Um, but yeah, there is so much to do. But the session was amazing. I would say we got to know each other and the various aspect that we learn, where we can, learn things. How can we um, go through this journey together and with the experience of each other? So really helpful session for me. I don't
Yeah,
know
I think
others.
Lakshmi ji wants to talk.
Yeah, Lakshmi ji, Priya ji.
Oh, hello. Just wanted to also raise this point about the EHCP because Vinodji was mentioning it. My feeling is that since my son is on the cusp, he's 21 years old, as I mentioned. So basically, the council or the EHCP, the school or the college, whoever, they want to cease the EHCP as quickly as possible. Even though we have a 25 age cutoff for the EHCP, they want to close it as soon as possible, trying to push the child into employment or whichever. That is my feeling. I may not be right, but I feel that even with the support that they give, once the EHCP ceases, the child is sort of lost with everything and they have to find their own way wherever they are. I'm sure you might have, Valiji might have better experience in that to say whether it's true or not. But we were really fighting to hold on to the EHCP for as long as possible. Any thoughts?
At that time, I didn't know the once my son finished GCSE and he got the job, I didn't know the EHCP was taken away from him. Then after a year, again he didn't have the job. That time when we are approaching council, they say, sorry, you don't have any EHCP anymore. But what I found is, but other sort of the support is there. So the EHCP until the children is doing in school, that's where it helps. After that, there are other supports. If we are holding on to EHCP, then we are missing out on the other supports. But other supports is what they are doing is finding employment. For that, we have to, the parent has to, one of the parent has to sit with them, talk with them, and what kind of area our kid can survive. What are the interview skills or any other sort of the skills we have to tell them, teach them, so prepare them. So school is one thing, but coming out of the school, going to the employment, it's totally another thing. And again, it is not at all easy job. It is for us, it is everything is new. We are new to this whole system and things like that. And we already, working in whatever the job you are doing. And for your child, again, he has to learn lots of background research. So we have to do that. But it is very important if we do that, at least you can sit with your child and tell them, okay, you can do this, you can try. So that support they need. But it is not an easy job actually.
Yeah. So, is there anything else left from other parents, or shall we conclude today?
Last, sorry, sir, last one point I want to add. For really complex need children, the colleges, schools will very down estimate their abilities because of non-verbal and lack of empathy on them. I don't know what I can say, but they will have very limited, very low expectations from them, and they are unable to provide any much information. Is there anything parents can do, whom to really approach for some kind of exposure to them?
So if you are say, for example, if the school is undermining your child capacity, for example, he can't sit in the GCSE exam and those sort of things. Okay, you can tell he can really do this and this sort of exam. And there is, for example, in UK there is Olympiad, isn't it? You can say he can do the Olympiad or some kind of maths. Totally forgot now because it's been 10 years now for me. There are some sort of things. So you can ask whether child can enroll in that or you can find, but that's where the parent has to put their effort. They need more time. You have to put their effort and find, and you can go and tell the school in a nicer way, I want my child is joined to do this and this and this. So, and once they prove that, then school definitely will, consider that because he already done on Olympiad level means he can go to the next level, that sort of things. So again, because I don't know, the teachers also got lots of paperwork and things like that, or the teachers also like us. They don't have, because they are teacher, we can't expect they know everything. Their capacity also limited, I think. That's where the problem.
Okay, thank you.
So I would say you try for you. All you have to do is, Ramaji, you have to find what are the job. You concentrate on the jobs. What are the jobs are available? Especially try in NHS and things like that. Definitely some background jobs where he doesn't need to talk.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, Waliji, when we say we have to try the system, we as a parent, we have a lot to do with the child's medic medical needs, educational needs, and so much. And there is very little as a parent, we have energy left to fight the system in all the corners, education, health, social care. So I think the system should be, like we said, the autistic assessment center, county wise, all these we should push towards, this options of the survey they are asking that these education, we want this, health, we want this, social care, we want these all in place because we are not fighting against all these channels each time and going to the escalation. We shouldn't be doing that because we have a lot to do. We need to give them that this system need,
So,
they have
so
a
that's where
responsibility.
I agree, but that's where we have to maintain some kind of better relationship with the people who we are dealing with that, and we can tell them like not like a complaint, but how we are struggling. Can you do something for that? If we are
Doesn't
lucky,
work.
if we are
It
lucky.
doesn't work. It doesn't work even if we try to do. I have done everything, bestest of the best relationship, and then again they have. Even if you do, let's say social worker, you hit with a good relation with that person, but that person proposes a good plan, let's say a good package, higher management, manager refuses, the person can't do anything, you know, because they have to work and put writing based on what the system can assess, a system can accept. Even they know the package you need is higher needs, but they can only write something which the manager can approve. So that should not be the case. Case should be children or youth or adults who have high needs, the LA local authority or social worker, or they have a responsibility to do. And if they don't hit with support this responsibility, then there should be an escalation. If they shout about not having the appropriate budget, these are the money. I mean, this much is 5.2 billion is a lot if they use, but they are not using for children. They are using where I don't know. It's not been transparent to county wise for all of us where this money is going. So feedback from us strongly to this survey, we should say these all things should be addressed. Like we need more laws around these three areas and responsibilities and where this money goes county wise, we should know. We are all taxpayers. That is what we should if we have got a chance to say, we should say it. That's what I would say. And everyone should participate on our group. 200 odd people, or even 100 odd people say these are the routes. We can put up the stats saying these are the three areas, and everyone wants improvement in this area.
Yeah, actually, government is pushing for employment for all these disabled children. Parents want their children to work. Everything is there, but I don't know what is these councils and these middle setups. Why they are so lesser in.
No, the practical difficulties the government wants, and we have all this, uh, what we can say that there are lots of services, but matching the skill with the correct job. So that's where the problem. So uh, it's not a straightforward one in my experience. So because we did get two or three opportunities for my son, but my son couldn't do it actually. That's where I realized, okay, so there may be more skill development should be there. Without that skill, even if the employer offering the job, if somebody can't do it, then they have to fire, isn't it? So without skill, that's why I keep saying, reinforcing, develop skill. Some we have to, no other way, because if we don't do, who is going to do? The council is not doing, teachers are not doing. So yes, it is like
I think
Viraji said, we are struggling, but somehow we have to do it. That's the only way we can support our kids.
yeah, I mean, we have gone captured very good valid points, and we have overrun by 14 minutes. So
Yeah,
what I would suggest is we have captured enough points to feedback to the next level, and if we need, we'll again come back. So
yeah.
thank you to all the parents who have joined today and given their inputs, and we'll certainly come back. And I hope most of us join on this call, because this entire WhatsApp group or our team is to support each other, and the only way we can, support each other is by coming on these calls and giving the inputs and taking the benefits of the group. Like today, we knew a few of them have common needs, so they can speak to each other and share things, and there's so much things to learn from each other here. So please keep joining and referring all things to your friends, family, and please come. Thank you and good night.
Thank you all. Thank you, Vinaji. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers. Any feedback? I'll just stop the recording, but